Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and yes, from the title, I'll be grading the top 8 of the NRL. So, we've done the bottom 8 about 3 weeks ago. We're going to do the top 8 now. The grand finals finished on Sunday, and we're going to grade the top 8 now because all the games are done, NRL's done. We're going to go into it. Now, stay tuned for it. Till the end, we'll find out who had the highest grading system. The system's going to be me grading from A+ down to probably about a D or a fail. And I'll put on the screen my prediction at the start of the year on where I finished. The green is where I got it right, or it's 1 or 2 spots in the right stop. And the red is where I got it completely wrong. They weren't in that right position. So, we're going to start off. So, get straight into it. So, number 8, or a quick overview of the season. Panthers back-to-back champions. We know that. They're going to win anyway. Eels had a chance. They lost 28-12 in the final. And also in the Women's League, Eels lost. So, result of that, Panthers finished on top, won a premiership, and they also won the championship, or you could say premiership. So, that's really the overview. Let's get straight into it. So, number 8, we'll start with the Raiders. Now, the Raiders season was unpredicted. We didn't know they're going to finish top 8. I don't know where I predicted them in the ladder. So, number 8, we got the Raiders. I think I predicted Raiders to be like 12 or even 9. So, the Raiders, they were probably 9th and 10th. They were probably 10th for, I think, the back end of the season. And then when it hit like round 20, they started winning. And the Raiders were competing with Broncos, who's going to make the 8. We know Broncos are only 2 points behind the Raiders in that number 8 spot. So the Raiders did surprise me a little bit. I'm surprised how the Raiders won round 1, the finals week 1, against the Storm in AAMI Park. They have a really good team. Their draw, the back end of the draw was, if we go to round 25, the back end of the draw from round 25 was a win, loss. So they're from round 22 to round 25, they won each game. They won 28 to 22 against the Knights, and then 48-6 against the Eagles, 56-10, and then 28-20 in the finals against Storm, and they lost 40-4 against the Eels in the semi-finals. So we knew that coming in that the the Raiders were going to put some points up in the back end if they're going to get that 8th position. They got it. So from seeing who the players are, and Ricky Stewart really taught these guys something. From Joe Krog getting injured at the start of the season, Adam Elliott in the second row really putting some work in, and then Jack Whiten really stepped up. Jamal Fogarty really stepped up. Both those guys worked together to get the Raiders to where they are, the 8th position. Next year, heading in, they know they can make the top 8. They make the top 8. They made it, and they went to the semi-final. They could have went to a prelim, the 8th spot. Didn't fall. They just fall behind against the flogging of a 36 win against the 36 loss against the Eels. So when I'm going to grade this, it's not a fail. They made the 8. Like the Raiders, if you make the 8, you're not suspect. Like Titans made the 8 last year, just behind the Sharks, just in front of the Sharks, and they lost first week. So I'm gonna give this Raiders team a B-. I'm gonna give it a B- just because it's a pass. They really did well. It's gonna be a B-, B- or B. Put it up to you guys to decide. B- or B. That's what I'm gonna go for there. Really good team, solid team. Moving on. Rabbitohs, unbelievable. They made the prelim in their 7th. Like, you got to, they finished 7th and they made a prelim. Like, they're a good team. They missed out on Aaron last year. They missed him, got rid of him. Now they bring Lachlan Ilias into the side at halfback. Really well done. Their season, honestly, I've got to give it a B+. It's B+, A-. I'll do a B+. They're nearly an A- there, but they just did not. They just came behind. Latrell Mitchell went to America for a few weeks, came back and dedicated himself to the Rabbitohs and not New South Wales team. So that shows Latrell's going to be firing next year. So gonna go Rabbitohs for the B+ on that one. It could, for me, this video is all about my prediction. The Rabbitohs could be an A-, but I just think a B+ for where they are, where players weren't with missing Adam Reynolds. You're getting the winger, Alex Johnston, the forward pack, Cameron Murray, Talangi, Mark Nichols, Latrell Mitchell, Cody Walker. Like, those guys really stepped up for this Rabbitohs team. Finishing 7th and making a prelim is really big. They had to win both finals week 1 and semis to get there. And they did it. So Rabbitohs, easy. I'm going to go them for B+. Now, 6th position, the Roosters. Their season, they lost finals week 1 against the Rabbitohs, but they did win in round 25 against the Rabbitohs. So what that's saying is that finals is different than regular season. So Rabbitohs would have loved to lose that round 25, and then you're going to play the Roosters anyway. So, nothing to talk about the Roosters, really. Tedesco, okay, cool, 1. But I'm going to give the Roosters a B. I'm going to give them a B. They made the finals, but I thought they would go way further. I thought they would go to at least a semi-final, but they lost week 1 at Allianz against the Rabbitohs. So they won in round 25 against the Rabbitohs, and then they won in Melbourne against Storm, and they won 72-6 against the Tigers. So this Roosters team could have done a lot better. They could have gone further, but they didn't. So it's a B-. B-, I've got to give it a B-. Why wouldn't I give it a B-? So that bottom 4, 8, 7, 6, I'm going to give it the results that I got. Moving on to 5th now, the Storm. I suspected them to do way better. They did lose Ryan Pappenhausen early in the season. You're not really going to talk much about them. The Storm slipped first time out of the top 4 since like 2014 or 2015, the last time they've been out of the top 4. So, Storm, there's nothing that I'm gonna give their season. It's a flop. It's really a flop of the season. I'm gonna give it a C+. The Storm were there. They made the finals and lost at home against Raiders. So it's gonna be a C+. They could have done better. That just didn't fall. That's really all about Storm. Nothing much about them, really. Made 5th. Had Cameron Munster. They didn't show up. Top 4 now. I get into the big names coming up here. Eels made the finals. I didn't predict Eels to make the finals at all. I think I did against Sharks, but Eels, absolute good season. They could have won it. They were really the one. This is their time to win it. 36 season, they won a premiership. Now 37. Great team. I've got to give it. It's definitely in the A standard. It's definitely A standard. It's going to be an A-, because A- is because they couldn't finish that grand final. Everyone was nearly predicting Panthers to win. Most people did predicting Eels to win. But I think A- is a great result from a great season. Made the finals. Unsuspected. Finished 4th and making the finals. Like, beating Cowboys and Sharks. And not nearly beating Panthers, but close to beating Panthers. So, Eels, Mitchell Moses, Dylan Brown carried that team the whole way. Like Jamal Fogarty and Jack White, and carried that team. Eels, easily an A-. Top 3, I'm going to get through this very quickly, the back end. We've gone through the bottom. Pretty happy how we're going. This video is just me putting out the grades so you can really see what I'm talking about. Cowboys, number 3. Now, they did beat the Sharks in finals week 1, which I was disappointed about, but they made the prelim and they lost at home against the Eels, which is unlucky with that forward pass from Mitchell Moses. We get that. That's gone now. But the Cowboys finished 15th last season. They finished 15th or 14th last season, and then they finished 3rd. That's why Todd Payton got the Coach of the Year. They finished 15th in the 2021 season, and then finished 3rd next year with a new coach. That's why this Cowboys team would be even better next year. They nearly went to a grand final, Cowboys, so they lost by 4. It's like their matches are close in the finals. Finals week 1, win by 2. Prelim, lose by 4. So, I've got to give this, same as Eels technically, I'm going to give this Cowboys team an A-. They really were there. They're in the prelim. They nearly made it. It's an A-. Or even you could say an A, but I'm talking about the season in particular. For the finals, it's an A-. For the regular season, I'm finishing 3rd and finishing 15th last season, it's an A. A- and A. That's what I'm going to go for the Cowboys. They did it. They finished 3rd and they lost in the prelim. That's right. You got Chad Townsend, who carried it mostly. Really good there. Top Hayden Coach of the Year with Dally M medals. If you didn't watch that 9, what are you doing? That's it for Cowboys. Now moving on top 2. The Sharkies finished 2nd. I'm so proud of what the boys did this year. Couldn't get the result we wanted, but Nico Hines, Dally M medalist. Up Nico. Going to be great next season, I'm telling you. We're going to be back next season. Finishing 2nd, we went to finals week 1 and then semi-finals, lost to the Rabbitohs. Pretty sad there, big flogging of a loss. I think a 26-point loss. But I'm really proud of what we did. Back in the season, we were on like a 5-0, 6 or nearly a 6-0, 6-win streak from round 20 to round 25. Sorry, 5-0 streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 win on the trot, and then we lost against finals week 1 and then semi-finals. So I'm going to give this Sharks team, they finished 9th last season. I don't know where I think I predicted Sharks to be like 6th, and then they finished 2nd. So Nico Hines flogged Dally M. He got 38 points, biggest margin ever. That's why the Sharks are going. They didn't make the prelim, didn't make the finals, but just from their efforts of finishing 2nd, it'll be low. It'll be an A-. I'm going to give it an A- from their season. If we're talking about regular season, it's an A-. Postseason, I'll probably give it a B. But either way, Sharks did a great season, finishing 2nd. New coach, Craig Fitzgibbon, Nico Hines there, Dal Finucane there, wingers working together, Matt Moylan, Will Kennedy, all those people I'm mentioning, they really stepped up for the Sharks to get them where they are. Nico Hines is amazing. He's a Dally M medalist. What else do you want to talk about? Okay, that's really about the Sharks. And now, big guns. Big gunny boys. Penrith Panthers. Penrith, boys from Penrith, top of the ladder, grand final victory. What do I put them? What do I put the boys at? I don't know. What do I put Panthers at? It's a great season. You got to say their season. I'm gonna give it an A+. Absolute blowout of a season. 20 wins on the trot. 20 wins. 20 wins, 4 losses. Win on the trot. Absolute can't predict this team. They could even go 3-peat if they wanted to. They've been in the finals 3 times. They've won 2 out of the 3. 2020 against Storm lost. 2021 win against South. 2022 win against Eels. So Panthers team A+. You got to give it an A+. Why? Going back to back is hard. Last time they did it was the Roosters in 2018 and 19. Panthers an A+. Really put out the effort there. Happy with Cleary, Dylan Edwards, the Clive Churchill medal. Great team. It's a really great team. So Panthers A+, really put out a good season there. So what we're going to suspect next year. That's really the video, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll put some more stuff out there about next season. So that's the grading. Moving on now to very quickly about what's coming up next season. Next season, we get the Dolphins. Dolphins coming in the comp. 17 teams in the comp next year. Where will they sit? Where will I grade them on the ladder next year? Where will I put them on the ladder? I think there are some good guys coming into that Dolphins team. I'd like to see what the Dolphins can do as the coach of Wayne Bennett. I think he's still coaching. What the players can do. What players are signing. So next NRL video I do is kind of going to be predicting the 2023 ladder. That's really what I'm going to do. I've done the NBA. If you want to go check that video out, you can. That's it. Really good season. I really liked how the Cowboys played, how the Sharks played, of course. Anyway, that's the video, guys. NBA preseason's going on now at the moment. Go check out Warriors videos that I've done. I'll put the playlist of Warriors reviews and game reviews and all that stuff at the end of the video, probably. So here we go. Next Warriors game, again, against the Lakers. If you haven't seen the game review against the Japan games, go check that one out. Anyway, I've talked a lot. I'll put in the description what I'm going to be talking about. Anyway, I'll put the ladder as well in the description, so if you don't know what the ladder was, I'll put it in the description for you. That's it. Anything else? Up the Sharks, Sharkies, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.